In common with the other party leaders, I did not expect this election. And I want to basically map out why this election has been called. It's been called for cynical reasons. It is about the protection of the Conservative Party and not for the good of this country. Indeed, we were caught by surprise, mainly because the Prime Minister gave a clear commitment that there would not be an election until 2020. She then performed one of the biggest U-turns in living memory, mainly because she saw that the Conservative Party were 20 points ahead of the Labour Party in the polls. It is flagrant opportunism. But this election has been called, and we in UKIP will fight it with vigour. In many ways, it is an election which is on our turf. It is a Brexit election. We also believe that a whopping Conservative majority will only serve to put Brexit in peril. Hordes of Tory lobby fodder will allow the Prime Minister to backslide, safe in the knowledge that she has the votes banked. And we are not convinced that the Prime Minister, who campaigned to remain in the referendum, will get the deal that the British people want. She is already beginning to backslide on immigration, with the government now telling us that immigration will run at today's level for the next decade. She has said nothing to guarantee our waters and protect our fishermen. And she will not rule out paying a huge divorce bill once we have left the European Union. UKIP goes into this snap election determined to hold the government's feet to the fire on Brexit. We will act as the government's backbone in these negotiations. Indeed, if voters elect a UKIP MP, they can be sure it will be a true Brexiteer, someone who has campaigned all their political lives for a free, democratic and independent Britain. We are not the fly-by-night Brexiteers. Indeed, if it wasn't for UKIP, there would have been no referendum in the first place. And if it wasn't for the hard work of UKIP activists, then we would not have secured Brexit. Now, naturally, the question I get asked most by journalists, by you guys, is what is the point of UKIP after Brexit? I believe we have to see this through to the end. We are only halfway through the war. It is a job half done. We must continue the fight. Therefore, UKIP will be fielding candidates all over the country at this election. We will also be prepared to put country above party. To that end, I have asked branches to step aside in this election in seats where there is a chance, where a true Brexiteer, regardless of political affiliation, could be replaced by a Remain MP. This, I believe, is a principled stand that will ensure that we get the kind of Brexit that people voted for on June the 23rd last year. And what is this kind of Brexit? It is a Brexit whereby we control our own borders. It is a Brexit which allows us to sign our own trade deals all over the globe. It is a Brexit whereby we do not pay a divorce bill to the European Union. And it is a Brexit which ensures that real democracy is returned to the United Kingdom. Finally, it is a Brexit whereby our fishing communities are protected. UKIP will go into this election with a bold and radical manifesto which is fully costed. We will tell you not only where the money will be spent, but also where the money will come from. For example, we will have a clear commitment to slash a foreign aid budget that is costing the British taxpayer in the region of £30 million every single day. And we will redirect the money saved and plough it into our NHS. Indeed, we will reaffirm our commitment that under UKIP, the NHS will remain in public hands and free at the point of delivery. We will also ensure that the National Health Service is not an international health service. We will also be committed to rebuilding our beleaguered armed forces and also putting more bobbies on the beat. We will go into this election with a commitment to tackle the repulsive practice of female genital mutilation. It is a national scandal that there has not been one single successful prosecution, even though this barbaric cultural practice has been illegal for nigh on 30 years. We will also be asking that people show their face in a public place. We will be the only party in this election with a clear commitment to cutting immigration. Yes, leaving the EU technically allows us to control our own borders, but polls clearly show that people want to see the numbers cut. Let me put this simply. Too many people are coming to our country every year. Last year alone, a city the size of Newcastle came to this country net. The gross figure is roughly the cities of Liverpool and Aberdeen put together. We believe that this has not only led to a stagnation of wages, particularly in working class communities, but it is also bad for community cohesion. Indeed, recent reports have shown that we are becoming a more divided society and that integration is failing. We will also campaign to do away with the antiquated first-past-the-post system, which gives the two establishment parties an unfair advantage. This electoral system, I would argue, does not belong in a 21st century functioning democracy. Therefore, we will call for the replacement of the first-past-the-post system with a system which is fair and proportional and one that ensures that every vote matters. We will also be radical on constitutional reform. The time has now surely come to do away with the antiquated House of Lords and replace it with some form of elected chamber. There also has to be both financial and democratic fairness for England, and this will mean an English Parliament. We will be radical because UKIP is at its best when it is radical. We will be bold and lead the debate. We will continue to set the agenda just as we have in recent years. So anyone hoping that UKIP is going to fade away from the political scene is going to be bitterly disappointed over the next few weeks and, indeed, I predict, confounded over the next few years. We have a great opportunity in this election because it is an election on UKIP's turf. It's a Brexit election and we will have our candidates out there knocking on doors, delivering leaflets and ensuring that UKIP gets members elected to the House of Commons at this election. Thank you very much indeed.